Destroyers are utilized by the most powerful modern navies. These are the most powerful surface combatants currently in operation. There are not many of these ships. These vessels are only commanded by the most powerful navies on Earth. So which is the world's most potent destroyer? Which modern destroyer is the best, and why? Based on the combined score of firepower, offensive and defensive capabilities, size, displacement, sensors, stealthiness, and other features, we have determined our top 10 contenders. Only destroyers that are now in use or will be commissioned in the future are included in this video. Our first battleship is the DDH-1000 Zumwalt-class multi-mission destroyer. With a full load displacement of 15,656 tons, the DDH-1000 Zumwalt-class multi-mission destroyer is being constructed by General Dynamics Bath Iron Works for the U.S. Navy, are the largest destroyers ever built. The lead ship in the class, USS Zumwalt DDH-1000, was launched in October 2013 and put into service in October 2016. Construction of the Zumwalt class began in February 2009 and ended in October 2016. Each Zumwalt-class destroyer is 186 meters long, 24.5 meters wide, and can accommodate 158 crew members. The advanced surface combatants can execute coastal operations, as well as anti-air, anti-submarine, and anti-surface warfare tasks, while sailing at a speed of 30 knots. They are also outfitted with stealth technologies. The ships are armed with two 155mm advanced cannons, an 80-sail vertical launch system VLS, and two 30mm close-in gun systems CIGS. The vessel also incorporates crucial technology, including a damage control system and an integrated all-electric power system. A sizable flight deck and a hangar are among the aircraft facilities on board the ships. One of these is the new USS Zumwalt, a powerful yet deadly sports car for the high seas. The destroyer ship cost about $8 billion according to CNN, and every single missile that it fires costs more than $800,000 per round. Moving on to the second destroyer, Class 055 Type 055 destroyers. The Type 055 class destroyers are the largest and most powerful surface combatants being built by Jiangnan Shipyard and Dalian Shipbuilding Industry Company, DSIC, for the People's Liberation Army Navy, with a full load displacement of roughly 13,000 tons according to plan. During planned 70th anniversary parade in April 2019, the first shipment in the class, Nanchang 101, made her public debut. The stealth hull of each Type 055 ship is 180 meters long and 20 meters broad. A maximum speed of 30 knots is guaranteed by its combined gas turbine and gas turbine COGAG propulsion. The HP J-38 130mm dual-purpose naval gun, the HP J-11 close-in weapon system, the HHQ-9 surface-to-air missiles, the YJ-18 anti-ship land attack cruise missiles, the CJ-10 land attack missiles, and the anti-submarine torpedoes are all included in the Type 055 destroyer's arsenal. It cost around $920 million per unit to build. Up next is our third battleship, Atago-class Destroyers. The Atago-class guided missile destroyers, which are operated by the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, JMSDF, are among the largest destroyers in the world, with a full load displacement of more than 10,000 tons and a crew carrying capacity of 300 Marines. An upgraded variant of the Kongo-class, the Atago-class is 165 meters long. Atago DDH-177, the first destroyer in the class, was commissioned in March 2007, and Ashigara DDH-178, the second warship, joined the JMSDF in March 2008. the Aegis combat system, Mk-41 BLS, two 20mm cannons, Mark 45 Mod 4 127mm gun, anti-ship missiles, and Type 68 triple torpedo tubes are among the weapon systems found in Atago-class ships. The destroyer has a hangar and a place for one helicopter to land. It can go at a top speed of 30 knots because of its gas turbine propulsion system. It costs around $1.48 billion to build a single unit of Atago-class destroyer. With that, let's move on to the fourth destroyer, the Sejong the Great class, also known as the DDH-III, Sejongdaewang DDH-Aegis. The Republic of Korean Navy operates a new class of 3 guided missile destroyers known as the Sejongdaewang, Sejong the Great class, also known as DDH-III ROKN. The ROKN fleet's largest destroyers are of the DDH-III class, and they are the only Korean destroyers equipped with the Aegis combat system. Each vessel can carry more than 300 crew members and can displace 10,000 tons when fully loaded. Under the Korean Destroyer Experimental KDX program, the DDH-III destroyers were created for use in blue water operations. Between 2008 and 2012, 3 Sejong the Great Destroyers constructed by Hyundai Heavy Industries and Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering were put into service. The Mk-45 Mod 4 naval cannon, Goalkeeper close-in weapon system, anti-ship, anti-aircraft missiles, anti-submarine rockets, and torpedoes are all equipped on Sejong the Great class destroyers. The destroyers have 2 helicopter landing pads and a combined gas and gas turbine COGHE propulsion system that guarantees a top speed of 30 knots. Building this giant cost $935 million for a single unit. Up next is our 5th battleship, Kee Lung-class Destroyers. The Republic of China Navy employs a class of 4 destroyers known as Kee Lung, formerly KIDD. The destroyers, which are the 2nd largest warships in the Taiwan Navy's fleet, were delivered to the ROC Navy between 2005 and 2006. The standard displacement for the Kee Lung-class ship is 6,950 tons, while the full load displacement is 9,574 tons. Each ship is outfitted with contemporary combat capability and communications to act as a task force flagship and can accommodate a crew of 363 Marines. 2 127mm guns, 2 CIWS, 2 Mark 32 triple tubes, surface-to-air missiles, and long-range anti-ship missiles make up the majority of the Kee Lung's arsenal. The destroyers have a top speed of 33 knots and can operate up to 2 helicopters. They were sold for a total price of $732 million with upgraded hardware, overhaul, activation, and training that included a reduced missile loadout of 148 SM-2 Block 3A and 32 RGM-84L Block 2 Harpoon anti-ship missiles. The 6th battleship is another U.S. Navy ship, but from the future, DDG-X. The United States Navy's DDG-X program, sometimes referred to as the Next Generation Guided Missile Destroyer program, aims to create a class of surface combatant ships to replace its 22 Flight II Ticonderoga-class cruisers and 27 Flight I and Flight II Arleigh Burke-class destroyers. The program marks the completion of the Large Surface Combatant LSC initiative, which was launched after CGX was scrapped and the purchase of Zumwalt-class destroyers was scaled back. The vessels, which will replace their predecessors as the U.S. Navy's primary big surface combatants, will include more potent sensors and offer greater capacity and weight margin for expansion. Currently, the Naval Surface Warfare Center, NSWC, Carderock, and the NSWC Philadelphia are testing various hull designs. In a concept displayed at the 2022 Surface Warfare Symposium, a destroyer with a superstructure resembling the Zumwalt-class Destroyer is shown with an angular hull form with displacement of 13,290 long tons, a typical bow, and these features. Future ships in the class might be extended with a payload module to offer further functionality. The Arleigh Burke and Zumwalt hull designs will both be used as inspiration for the DDG-X hull design. The ships will be able to accommodate bigger missile launch systems, better survivability, and room for future growth in terms of space, weight, power, and cooling. The ships will contain personnel housing and air defense command and control facilities since they will be replacing the Ticonderoga-class cruisers. It's estimated to cost $3.4 billion per next-generation ship to be built. The seventh battleship on this list is the Kongo-class Destroyers. The Kongo-class guided missile destroyers are comparable in size to cruisers, with a full load displacement of 9,500 tons. The JMSDF is in charge of operating the warships, which have an extremely sophisticated Aegis combat system. The class's fourth and last ship, Chokai, DDG-176, was commissioned into service in March 1998 after Kongo DDG-173. The class's lead destroyer was given the go-ahead in March 1993. The primary armament of the Kongo consists of 2 triple torpedo tubes, 2 20mm guns, 2 127mm rapid-fire cannons, anti-ship missiles, and vertical launch systems. A gas turbine propulsion system gives the destroyer a top speed of 30 knots. Cost to build this destroyer is 122.3 billion yen, which is around $1 billion US. The 8th battleship is the biggest shark of Russia, the Udaloy II-class Destroyer, Project 1155. Initiative 1155.1. The largest destroyer class in the Russian Navy is Udaloy II. Anti-submarine destroyers of the Udaloy 1 class. The Udaloy II has an 8,900-ton full-load displacement. The Kinzhal Self-Defense Service to Air Missile SAM systems. The Kordik SAM, the CIWS, the anti-submarine torpedoes, and the anti-submarine rocket launchers are all integrated into the Udaloy II class. 2 helicopter hangars and a deck are available on the destroyer. The vessel's combined turbine and gas turbine COCAG installation allow for a 32-knot maximum cruise speed. The lead ship, Admiral Chavanenko, was the only one of 3 Udaloy II warships that were eventually completed by Yantar Shipyard, Kaliningrad. A lack of financing forced the scrapping of the remaining 2 destroyers. 9th is from the Royal Navy of the UK, Type 45, Daring class. A new class of guided missile destroyers developed by BAE Systems surface ships for the UK Royal Navy is the Type 45, also referred to as the Daring class. The largest and most sophisticated vessels in the fleet of the Royal Navy are Type 45 destroyers. The first Type 45 destroyer, HMS Daring D-32, entered service in July 2009, while HMS Duncan D-37, the 6th and final vessel, entered duty in September 2013. HMS Daring has a full load displacement of 8,500 tons and can carry a crew of 190. The Sea Viper, PAAMS Air Defense System, the Silver A-50 Vertical Launching System, VLS, the Aster and Harpoon anti-ship missiles, the Mark 8 naval cannon, the 2 Oerlikon 30mm guns, the 2 Phalanx CIWS, and general-purpose machine guns are all equipped with the Type 45 class. The vessel's max speed is 27 knots due to their integrated electric propulsion, IEP. The Type 45 destroyer cost is estimated to be over 1.050 billion pounds per ship. Our last and 10th destroyer is the Russian Storm from the future. The Krylov State Research Center's Project 23,000E, also known as Storm, Russian for storm, is a concept for an aircraft carrier made for the Russian Navy. The export version is estimated to have a cost of approximately $5.5 billion US, and its development was initially projected to take 10 years as of 2017. The project was still under consideration as of 2020, and given the associated expenditures, it was uncertain if it would be given precedence over other aspects of Russian Navy modernization. The carrier is being proposed to serve as a replacement for the Admiral Kuznetsov, which was commissioned in 1991 with the Russian Navy's Northern Fleet. According to reports, the Nevsky Design Bureau is also involved in the development effort. Despite Russian President Vladimir Putin delaying the construction of a new aircraft carrier and lighter-class destroyers, it is still featured in Russia's state armament program for 2018 to 2027, which was published in May 2017. A new heavy aircraft carrier should be built between 2025 and 2030, according to Russian officials. According to reports from 2020, if the carrier were to be constructed, it might also be equipped with the envisioned S-500 surface-to-air missiles. Hence, this brings an end to our destroyer video, but we will come back with some new and interesting videos of the future, in the future. Till then, make sure that you like our videos, and do share your views and opinions with us in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel, New World Tech, to get videos from us regularly. And also do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, peace.